Hello and welcome to Romantasy Readers Podcast. My name is Nicole and I am joined by my wonderful co-host today, Kitty. Obviously, Ali wanted to be with us today, but she is jet-setting in Brazil, so unfortunately she can't be part of our very exciting episode today. We are going to be talking about a massive trilogy series that you may see here behind us, Gods and Monsters. And Kitty is a massive, possibly one of the biggest Gods and Monsters fans, definitely that I know, but possibly just like in its entirety. So she's here as an absolute subject matter expert on Gods and Monsters. But welcome. How are you going?
Thank you. Very good.
So Gods and Monsters, you introduced me to this one. You might want to take me through the story. How did you actually find these books and how did you fall in love with them?
So me and one of my girlfriends, Tracy, we have a TBR together.
Yeah.
And it was on that. So it kept popping up and kept popping up. And we were like, okay, what's this book of Az? Like, we've just got to get into it. Read it. Fell in love, fucking loved it. I was just like, okay, I've just got to keep going. I could not put them down. I died over the stories. I died over the female main character. She's the best thing Diana. I've ever read. It just grabbed me straight away. And because it's a slightly darker romantasy, that's the kind of book that I actually love.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think one of the series that I really introduced to you, I think when I knew that you were quite a fan of the spice, you kind of like it going a little bit to the dark side. So I introduced you to the Plate of Prisoner series. Yes. I was like, you should really read this. And you loved that. Particularly, okay, maybe the first couple are a bit slow and unamazing, but once you get to books 3 and 4 and beyond, it's so villain for you. Those really like Anti-hero. Spicy, but dark. It's so good. And then Gods and Monsters does that as well. I have to admit, I saw the Book of Azrael so many times at bookstores and everything, and I just kind of skipped over it. I just didn't really grab me, and I didn't really think about it. It was only once you started raving about it, and Kitty's there, and she's like, Nicole, I can't even read anything else. I don't even want to leave this world. I'm just staying in it. I'm just rereading them because I don't want to leave. And I was like, okay, I really need to prioritize a read of these books because
I did. I actually felt almost sick when I finished them. Like, I was so obsessed by it. And I didn't really have anyone, well, I had Trace, but we didn't theorize about it and go into like a huge amount of detail because we both had the same theory by the end of it. I had to force myself to start reading other books because I was so fixated on it. You know, when you walk around, you're like, where are my friends? And then you're like, oh my God, they're in a book.
Where are my friends? Oh wait, they're in a book. They're not real.
Get a freaking grip. Like, yeah, I was like that. So I'm walking around, I'm like, where the fuck is Diana? Like, how the fuck did it end like that? And it was killing me. And I was like, it's just like, what happened? And because we've had to wait for the book. And it hasn't been that long. Like, I read them after they came out, and I'm just like, when is Amber bringing out the next one? And then she's so good at her socials, and she just keeps bringing up everything. I'm like, I just need it. I just need it.
Yeah, because we're getting it because there was a bit of a delay. I think it was going to be coming out like this month or something. I think, and then when that didn't happen, it was like, okay, it's coming out October, as you said. So at least we don't have too long to wait for book 4, but very good time to get into these books, break them down for you guys. Hopefully you guys have read all 3. I think it goes without saying that going to be spoilers on here. So if you haven't read all 3 books, get off here, go read them and come back because they're definitely an awesome romantasy read. Like, just, I think it's a real exploration of villains. And we'll dig into it a bit more as we go along the podcast, but I really loved, one of the things I loved most about this series was I feel like almost every character is a villain, and even the heroes, I feel like, are going to become villains. Like, I think that it's just exploring every kind of villain you can possibly have, and that they're all multi-dimensional, and even if they're a villain, they can be desperately in love with someone. And what are your thoughts?
It's just refreshing, isn't it? It's not like a villain stays a villain, or, oh my God, I didn't see that coming, and the twists are there because you don't see a lot of it that's coming. But then with the villains, they kind of get a bit of a redemption, and then they're assholes again. You're just like, how did I fall in love with you for 2 seconds? So it really is a bit of a roller coaster with them, and you're just like, but what the fuck? And then you're like, okay, but now you've got a love story, and then you saved her from something that was really bad, but you're actually evil. But now because you've got an obsession with her and we love her, you're okay. And then you're just like, oh my God, how the hell did that happen?
I know. Because there were so many times we felt this. So, like, okay, we're obviously moving away from the main love interest, but we're just going to get straight into it because we're excited. All right. So we felt passionately like we loathed Vincent. End of book 2. Could not have hated Vincent more.
Yeah, it was an absolute see you next Tuesday. Like, what he did to everyone was gut-wrenching. And, like, you felt it because they felt it. He was part of the hand. Yeah. He'd been with them for thousands of years. But he was planted, and then you're just like, oh, fuck, Vincent. Like, why would you do that to them? Because that brought on the absolute crumble.
Yeah.
That was everything. And then Sam Keel, he got, like, sorry, spoiler, he got captured at that point, and so badly. And it was just like, oh my gosh, how are we going to get him out of this? What's going to happen? All because of Vincent.
This has been my one issue with this series, right? Sam Kyle, for all his, like, epic godly power, feels like the weakest MMC I've known in my entire life. He seems to be endlessly getting captured, having his powers taken away. I feel like forever Diana's having to rescue him, which is awesome, by the way. Like, freaking love that. But I'm like,
you're not
damn,
wrong.
He's like always getting himself like he's so powerful. Then he's like, oops, I lost my rings and now I'm without power. And it's like, seriously, man.
It
like,
does happen
get
in
your
every
shit
book.
together.
Yeah, you're the world ender. Like, what's going on?
Hurry up and build this like the world ender until he loses his rings. Then he's like, oh, I can't do it anymore. Well, need someone else to do it for me.
Yeah, but I think Diana's such an intense character, which we'll go over in a second. But is it part of her character and it just is. Making her the best FMC that I personally think has existed?
Mm-hmm.
Because Diana rescues him continuously, but he rescues her on an emotional level.
That's right.
So it's a bit give and take. So it's almost like they've swapped positions in, like, classic romantasies. So maybe it's a bit like that. He keeps getting rescued by her because in the first book, she rescued him emotionally.
Yes.
Pulled him out of that depression that he had because he ended the
world.
But then it flips in book 2 and you're just like, oh, now she's ending worlds. So,
I know. She was so in her villain era in the second book. But, like, it was also so hard because at some point you were just like, okay, get your powers back, get your memories back, start caring about Sam Kyle again because
that was frustrating.
Yeah.
That was pretty much a lot of the book.
Yes.
And then when finally the door stopped rattling.
Oh my God, the door rattling. Freaking hell, the door rattling. And then the door rattled. What does this mean?
Yeah, what's going on? It's trapped in a house and there's the memory behind it and you can't possibly let it out. When it finally came out, even her sister Gabby said, oh, is that it? Is that all that's locked behind there? Is that all that you feel bad for? And she was like, I forgive you. Like, I shouldn't even have to forgive you. Because I completely understand that happened and you have had nothing in your life that you've been happy for. So there's your one piece of happiness. You're allowed to literally 1 second that you chose him over me.
Yeah.
But then it was 1 second in your life.
Yeah.
Out of thousands of years of always protecting Gabby because Caden's a prick and held Gabby above
hostage. Yeah. No, and yeah, she was, I mean, honestly, how long did Gabby live for? Like hundreds of years at least. Like they were together alive for a long time. So she'd had plenty of lifetimes. Like,
honestly, Caden probably could have killed her ages ago.
Yeah. Freaking Caden, such an asshole. Okay, but let's go back into villains, right? Because as you were saying, like Vincent hated him. Then he goes and starts being all romantically interested in Camilla. And you're suddenly like, oh, and Camilla really needs some love. Like, she thinks she's a villain, but really she's not. She's being pushed into it. We also find out then more about Vincent, that he's kind of been, like, brought in by Nesmira, and he's kind of got an oath to her.
Yeah, she calls him her pet.
Yeah.
So he's been groomed, like, for thousands of years by her, and he's actually under a spell. And we realise later that there is actually a bond.
Yeah.
And he can't say no to her and he has to abide by it.
Exactly.
Sort of so then you start feeling a little bit sorry for him. But then there's that scene. And you messaged me about that and you're like, he fucking chopped her hands off. Like, he fucking chopped her hands off. And I'm like, did he?
I'm like,
Okay,
oh my God.
cool.
And like, and just to be clear, right? Like, it was all from Camilla's perspective. We later on find out that it was all a ruse and she was part of it. But in her mind, she's like, I cannot believe you're such an asshole. You're going to cut my hands off. And you were like pretending to like me this whole time. At no point in her mind was she saying, oh, I know that you're really just doing this to make it look like it. So yeah, so I was very surprised that that was not actually a true. I mean, he cut off her freaking hands. That seemed pretty intense. But luckily they reattached pretty easily. So thank God for romantasy and fantasy and the fact that we can make those things happen. But he was one of the very first kind of, okay, he's a villain and actually kind of like him. Then we have Isaiah, who is still being kind of created at this stage, like villain but complicated.
So we learn about him as Caden's brother and his Mira's brother. And actually, how do you say Sam Kyle?
Sam Kyle.
Sam Kyle. Okay, I say Sam Kill in my head. Sam Kyle. He's their brother. Like the four of them are actually brothers and sisters, and you find out what he actually does and that Caden's super protective of him and all that sort of stuff. So he kind of comes into it, but when you learn his powers, you're like, oh, like you're fully intense. But then he's got that really soft spot for Imogen, and you're just like, oh, and he protects her from literally being given
raped and all sorts of horrible things.
Yeah, to a legion, and you're just like, okay. Like,
and he's actually trying to find, even though I think it was his power, was it his power that like made it that she was under like complete control? But then he's also trying to figure out how to break it at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, well, it wasn't his power at the start. It's actually Azrael's.
Right.
And then, but once it's done, it's done.
Yes.
And you shouldn't be able to undo it. But then they do. And then people come back. And you're just like, oh, thank God. And the first ones are Navira.
Yes.
She comes back. And then Logan. Or the other way around. Because they're in love and they've got a stronger connection and all these things happen. So they all start figuring it out, and then they take the hand back.
Yes.
And then they start breaking down the hand and da-da-da-da. So, yeah, that's how that all happens. But, yeah, Isaiah he's just gross and evil. But he saves Imogen, so then we get softer for him. Yeah. We just see him always protecting her. He's possessive of her, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there when they get Imogen back, because I have no doubt that they will.
Of course they will.
But then will Imogen actually...
I'm sure there's going to be a total enemies to lovers there. She's going to be so pissed at him, but then she's also going to be all complicated. Thanks like, oh, but you also protected me, so thank you so much for that. And I'm also super attracted to you because you're a very good-looking god. So that's going to be fun. Definitely going to be fun. We also have, well, I mean, obviously we've got Diana, who is villain, but also kick-ass villain, destroy the world for you. I think we've also got explorations, like I think we've got heroes like Sam Kyle that we're possibly going to see them go darker and darker as things happen to Diana. And I think that we will get that exploration, and then we might talk later about who we think the ultimate epic villain of this whole series Kitty thinks is going to be. But we'll talk about that later, because let's now bring this back. We've already gone deep into theories in the first 10 minutes of this podcast. Let's go back and just explore these kind of 3 books. So you've got the 3-book series. So I guess the first one is obviously Book of Azrael. Do you want to give a bit of a... Like,
it's super world building, super. Like, you can see that, well, Sam Kyle and Diana, they meet and they're totally enemies to lover. Like, absolutely. He's a god made of light. She's a Igmaruthan. I call him Iggy Ems because I cannot say, and like Iggy Azalea, that's all Iggy Ems. That's all I can think. And that's what she is. And they are
Igmaruthan.
Igmaruthan.
Now even I'm struggling with that. Like, what did I say it? How do I normally say it?
They are totally born of darkness, and they were actually created by
Anir.
I need to listen to books.
Yeah, the dad.
The dad. And that's what they... Lightness, dark.
Yeah.
So they cancel each other out. They kill each other.
Light and dark. Love that.
So a lot of book 1 is building their relationship and world building, so you understand that there is multiple universes and multiple realms, and they're all cut off from each other, and he's the key to all of it. And his life is the key, and they won't open up unless he's dead, because that's what his dad put into him and all that sort of stuff. And it's them kind of trying to find the Book of Az, which Caden made Diana do, and then Sam Keel is trying to stop her from doing it, so then they both start looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what book 1 is about.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because I think that, like, you know, we obviously at the time, Diana is quite, she's in a good place. She's in a good place. She's got her sister. She's got to this stage where she's almost like a vegetarian, Igmaruthan. Like she's eating real food. She doesn't feed on people hardly at all. She's very much her own person. She's very much connected to the human part of herself.
Yeah.
And she really rescues Sam Kyle in that first book because he is really depressed because he ended his own world and he's been off world for a really, really long time. And it was only through the death of one of his hands or whatever that he comes back, and then they end up kind of going on this forced proximity kind of thing together, and they start to build this really lovely relationship until it all goes down the gurgler.
Yes, thanks to Caden.
Yes.
So
Caden stirring that freaking pot.
Such a prick. So then at the end, the cliffhangers of these books are ridiculous. So at the end of that, then of course, Caden is holding Gabby, her sister, hostage and over her head and saying, you have to do this and you have to do that, which he's done for thousands of years. But he actually ends her life. He actually kills her on broadcasted television.
Yeah.
So she sees it, but she's with Sam Kyle ages away. So it's not like she can actually help Gabby at all. Anyway, then Diana turns. And that's the end of book 1. Like, she's devastated. She's depressed. She's upset. And then book 2 is
tables have turned.
Yeah, Diana, full villain era.
Villain era.
She literally ends worlds, and doesn't give a shit who she takes down. Like at the time,
she literally kills 100 people for blood. She just goes on an absolute killing spree, and has gone so deep into Igmaruthan that which is also dragon in my opinion. It to me just seems like she's a dragon, wyvern, whatever. And she has gone full death mode.
Absolute full death mode. Loses a lot of her humanity.
Yeah. Has no care for anything.
Nah,
and that's her coping mechanism for she's lost Gabby, and she's like, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to process my emotions here. It's a lot easier to just go dig into the Igmaruthan in me that has no feelings and just kill constantly, full vengeance mode, full I'm going to kill everyone that made this happen. So except she can't kill Caden. Can't seem to get to that point, but she gets everyone else.
Yeah. But yeah, Gabby was the only, she thought Gabby was the only thing that was good in her. So she's gone. So yeah, the villain era is so good and it lasts for a really long time. She even tries to kill part of the hand. And Sam Kyle, she gives it a really red hot crack because they're trying to stop her from ending worlds and destroying everyone and doing all that sort of stuff. So she actually starts even hurting them a little bit and going down that route. Yeah. Which is not too great, but she just wants to kill everyone and try and find Kate.
Yeah. I think one of the characters that was really interesting in this book was Camilla. We obviously get a little bit of an introduction with Camilla in the first book as someone that is that doesn't like Diana because they were lovers and then Diana broke her heart is the belief. But what we actually find out is Camilla actually really does still love Diana. She has moved on from it, but she is kind of double agenting at this point. She's kind of sussing out certain bits of information, but she does really care for Diana and she's trying to figure out how to help Diana through the undergrounds and that. And we obviously in the second book, she has actually gotten Gabby's body and she protects that for Diana so she can actually process that death and have a proper funeral for her and that definitely, as much as she's in her full villain era and hates everyone, it does soften her from actually killing Camilla and letting her live at this point in time.
Yes, exactly. So yes, we meet Camilla. Well, we met her in the first book, but yes, we get a softer side to Diana for a few minutes anyway.
For a few minutes, then she goes back.
Yeah. You start to really get to understand the hand a little bit more in the second book too, and it brings out a lot of their personalities. And it's really fun to get to know them, especially Cameron.
She loves Cameron.
He is my favourite. He is just fucking hilarious. The shit he comes out with. There was a scene I read the other day and he wakes up and he's like, shit, this is the worst nightmare ever. what are you doing at the end of my bed? Like to Caden. And he was just like, oh my God, this is a nightmare. It must be because Caden was standing at the end of his bed previously on. Like he calls Caden Kabish. Like, like it's just, he just has awesome one-liners and he is that jovial comedic relief.
Yes.
In a book that is quite serious.
100%.
So you do need him. He's in love with his best friend. So there is a love interest in that, which actually, towards the end of the book, makes him team up with the villains because he's got no choice, which is sorry to see. And he actually chooses Xavier over Sam Keel.
Yeah. But Diana actually comes out sort of outlining that she understands that because it's very much the same thing she did for Gabby. Like Absolutely. She's like, I made that same choice. So I can't tell him off for it because it's the same choice that I made for the people that I love.
Everyone gets it in the end. But yeah, you get to know everyone else. And Sam Keel is really trying to bring Diana out of that villain phase and he just doesn't give up. Everyone is saying, come on, she's super bad. We've got to kill her. The council, they're just like, we've got to kill her. She's ruining worlds. She's burning everything. She's taking everyone out. We have to end her. And he's like, nah, you can't do it. Nah, I'm in love with her. Doesn't say love because that takes so long for them to admit that. But he really wants to bring her back because their friendship and their relationship had really kicked in at the end of book one. And she had saved him. She had saved him and he felt like he needed to give that back. Yeah. So, yeah, that kind of kicks into gear as well, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then he kind of puts her on house arrest when
I know,
she starts
the forced proximity. Oh, God, I needed that because I think I was at a point I was getting really frustrated because it was really dragging on in the second book and I reached out to Kitty and I was like, this is driving me nuts. And she was like, what page are you up to? And I was up to, whatever, 350 or something. And she said, okay, you're getting close to some forced proximity. And I was like, yes, thank God, finally getting somewhere.
Yeah, so house arrest. It was fabulous. So he just keeps working and working on her. She's not nice and she starts to soften and then eventually he just has to keep going off to the council things and all that sort of stuff. And she misses him when he's not there. And then she starts softening and all that sort of stuff. And then finally we get back into their relationship and then the spice begins and it hits really good. Like really, really good. Their scenes are amazing. Amber Nicole, she writes them so good. They're actually quite in depth, like emotionally, all that sort of stuff. You hear everything that's going on in their brain and then the description of everything that's happening and you're just like, oh, he put it where? And you're just like,
he put it where?
Oh, and she did what? And it's just like, okay, you don't have to imagine anything.
She keeps it so fresh with every scene. Like I feel like, I think we spoke about this in another episode. We were just talking about it and how she makes it different every time. Not just like, oh, we're just in a different location. Actually, like, I don't know, the things they explore, the things they do, that really mixes it up. Really keeps it very fresh and spicy.
It's on a kitchen bench, and then it's on the bed again, and then it's on a balcony, and then it's over here, and then they're outdoors, and you're just like,
okay. And you also, as you said, there was the first, like, the normal mode, and then there was the God mode, and that was so fun.
Well, because Diana doesn't have her powers because she just gets, she burns out when she's an Iggy.
Yeah.
And she loses her powers. So he's a bit gentler on her because he doesn't want to hurt her. And like when he's in God mode, he's in God mode.
Yeah.
So
and her too. And I think that's also one of the really nice things about their development over the books was that part of that spice journey was also her feeling more comfortable to show her true self with him. Like I think for a long time she was like, I can't show you my ignorant side during these scenes because you don't want that. You want the more human kind of Diana. So she wasn't showing that side of herself. And the more confident she got in their relationship and she realized he loved her and her ignorance inside. And he was like, bring it out, babe. Like, bring it out, let it loose. Yeah. And so then she was like, all right, I'm going all out. And there was also a really nice character development in it as well to see that.
And again, like you already had that. That's the thing about these books. You already thought that you had the character development and then it goes back again and you're like, what the fuck? And then it happens again and then you're like, okay, no worries. So you're reading a series and it's not like, okay, we did this. Okay, we've already done that. It keeps bringing you back.
And I think there's a realisticness to it as well that like, because it's in a lot of books, it's like
Perfect.
they only hook up once they've fully opened themselves up to the other person and they've dealt with all their inner demons and that, which of course is so unrealistic to real life, because real life, you normally haven't dealt with a lot of your demons. You might have dealt with one or two, but you haven't dealt with everything. And that's what this is about. Yeah, they get to a point where they're ready to become intimate, but then they continue to build and break down more walls between each other to truly love each other for the true person that they are and the true villain that they are, and are willing to burn worlds for each other, which is very, very cool.
It is very cool. It is, yeah. It is done so well.
Yeah.
So well. The spice definitely amps up. So book 2 is brilliant. It's great. You've got lots of characters. Everyone's...
Yeah, we're introduced to a lot of characters. Like part of that house arrest, I think, is when we really start to build that relationship for her with the hand, with Xavier and Cameron. Yeah. Like they are definitely ones that she starts to build a bond with.
Yeah, they start taking her out. And Sam Kyle doesn't know, and then he gets really angry at them, and she's like, please don't, I had fun. And he's like, okay, no worries. Like she does, she starts getting really soft. They take her to the beach, and then she ends up having a really good relationship with both Imogen and Navira.
Yeah.
And previously she hated Imogen because she had a relationship with Sam Kyle ages ago, and she found out that Imogen was meant to be her like his betrothed.
Yeah.
So she's an insanely jealous person. So hated Imogen. Then she softened on her and then had the girls over. Like it did. It started getting really lovely.
Found family.
Yeah, big time found family, which is great because obviously we lost Gabby and that's what she needed. So yeah, it started working through the book, and then by the end,
then it all turns.
And then we're introduced to a really big baddie.
Yep, Nesmira.
And she calls herself King because...
Super weird.
Yeah, she's just a fuckwit. Like, she's just... Oh, like
she just comes in as so, like, almost two-dimensional villain. Like, she just comes in as, like, just super bad, cold villain, killing everyone, just wants all power, all, like, very, very cold, very, no... Like, I think... with all the other characters, especially in book 3, we're very much introduced to their complexities. Even Caden, who we've hated the whole way through, we hear his point of view and we start to understand why he did certain things. And while he's still an asshole, we also do get some understanding about how he does really love Diana. He actually felt obligated because of Nesmira that he had to make her not be in love with him so much. I don't still really know why, but he felt like he needed to distance them a little bit, and now he's trying to win her back and all that sort of thing. So we get complexity to the villain characters, whereas Nesmira, she's just seems to be at this point in time pure bad,
pure power, just wants to take over everything. I think she's just pissed that she's a female, and that's why she says,
I'm a king. I can be a king.
Like, it's so weird. So we meet her in a really bad circumstance because Sam Kyle is caught and there's ruins. Like, it was the council that did it. And yeah, Caden stabs him and there's really bad stuff going on. They get the hand, they turn the hand into pretty much just walking weapons.
Yeah.
Like, they're all just taking commands, but they're in their own heads, which is terrible because they're made to do really bad things to their found family and for the enemy and all that sort of stuff. They're getting thrown to legions, which is what Isaiah saved Imogen from, which is why we softened to him. But yeah, Sam Kyle is in a really, really bad place, and then of course Diana has to save him. So that's how book 2 ends.
Well, literally we get they stab Sam Kyle. He potentially loses all his power. They actually kill him to the point that even though bringing someone back from the dead is meant to be never, ever allowed, Diana actually manages to bring him back. And not just bring him back, but bring him back not as some kind of zombie or something, but actually as him. They obviously lose the Armada mates bond, like that. It starts to sear on the hand and then it goes away. And which seems like payment enough in my opinion, if you ask me. Like, that seems like a pretty decent payment. But yeah, it's kind of complicated. But she keeps him alive, and then we jump into but all the hands are gone. Like, it's literally just the two of them. Enter book 3.
Yeah, book 3 is great. Starts with a bang. Literally chapter 5 and
all on like Donkey Kong.
Yep, they are at it and it is god level sex. Like the spice in it is like, because by that stage everyone's got their powers back. Even Sam Kale, like he is still healing, but he's much better. So they just go this next level and you're just like, oh, okay. Like this is okay. This is all very
it's very I mean, obviously I think the book starts and we get a lot of the villains' perspectives. We're getting like Caden, Vincent. Did we get Isaiah? We got all them first. Like we hadn't even jumped into
Cameron opened it up.
Yep. Then he's full Igmaruth and now, and he is learning how to be Igmaruthan, and he's in this like kind of crazed hungry phase where he's like famished and is killing everything that he sees because he can't control his like blood hunger. But then we go straight to like Diana and Sam Kyle, and probably as expected, he is healing sexually. His healing journey has been of the spicy persuasion with Diana, as they're in this like healers quadrant kind of location with all these healers around them. Mind you, we find out that they're actually poisoning him, not healing him. And his stab wound that he's got is not really healing that well. Like, no,
it's poisoned.
Yeah.
So goes off with a bang on god level. And then it's all about him healing and everything. And then we do find out that the Queen's been poisoning him. So who they thought was, their friends turn out to be evil as shit. And they're on...
I was going to say foe, but, evil as shit also works.
Which is crap. And then Sam Kyle is taken away again, and then Diana has to save him. That takes a lot of the book away. Like there is a long period of time that happens. He's about to be taken away to prison. He does make some friends in that.
Rescues like a bird phoenix thing, I think. Like there's that bird phoenix they capture and then manages to help it escape, and it takes a message to take to Diana, because Diana's on a freaking warpath. She is like, they've taken
She's
Sam
burning
Kyle
everything down. She is so angry and so frustrated. Again, it's the whole thing where Diana could be seen as evil to a lot of people, but what's hers and what she loves, she literally kills for. And Sam Kyle does say it's better to be on her good side because she loves so hard, but she also kills hard. So
I think this is really where we start to see Diana playing our favorite kind of like villain hero. I will burn the world for you. I will.
She's got the balance, whereas previously she didn't have balance. It was just flat out.
But like we really see her now. She is fully connected to her Armada, and she is like, if you hurt him, I am destroying the entire world to protect him. And she is on a warpath. And even Sam Kyle is like, oh, if you guys hold me for much longer, like she's going to burn the whole world to the ground. Like really, in the interest of everyone, really need to let her rescue me sometime soon, because like, you guys, like she's way more powerful than me, guys.
Yep, exactly. So eventually he gets saved by her, made lots of friends. They're good. There's, I've forgotten his name, who makes friends with, who is
it's like an elf or something.
He's an elf.
He's an elf, yeah.
And
I can't remember his name.
Sister is within Nismira's, I'm like quite high up in Nismira's army, essentially. And she's a double agent. She's feeding him all of the information, and they're trying to save the realms, which is what Sam Kyle has promised to everyone, obviously. Everyone's just shocked that he's actually alive, because you can see the opening of the realms in the sky.
Yeah. Like all his magic seems to be, I kind of imagine it like an aurora. Like I can see like this aurora just kind of like, it's just his magic just swirling through the sky.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine it.
Absolutely. Nismira wants it all happening because there's some really, really dark realms, and she kind of wants them to come in and destroy the good, because she thinks that she can.
And then she's also trying to get this like pendant that she's got Camilla like repairing. She's getting all these like, I mean, here she is. She's kind of beaten Sam Kyle. We would theoretically assume that she has defeated her biggest foe, and she should now be starting to relish just being the ruler of all in peace. But yet she's getting weapons and things, because we start to get the indication. I can't remember who talks about it, to say that there is actually a bigger bad out there and she needs the tools to fight it. Did you get that? Did you pick that up?
Who's the bigger bad?
I have no idea.
Is it because Dad's coming back?
Unia. Is that how people say it? Unia or Una?
No
Unir. That's how I'm saying it anyway.
So that's why it's another part of my theory. He's just
Okay. We'll get that to that in a second. We'll get to the end and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so she rescues.
She does.
Sam.
Yep, and then Spice happens again and it's fabulous.
Yeah. There's a really dirty Spice in there actually. Like, because so many authors talk about throwing in like hot spring scenes and stuff to like make sure that their characters are clean when they do things, and yet there is one where they're literally rolling around in the dirt and they do not care whatsoever.
No, that's why it's more of a dark romantasy. Like, the Spice does take it to a different level, similar to kind of like Plated Prisoner.
Yeah.
But this just goes a whole new level.
I have to admit, I did love when Diana feeds on Sam Kyle. Like, that was my God, that was like my Jennifer Armentrout kind of level. Yep. I was like, oh, I have no experience. This is Jennifer Armentrout. This is so good. Why is it so good when they like feed like a vampire? And
just takes it. And like, she's been asking him to bite her quite a lot and all that sort of stuff. And it's just like love bites and just feeling like possession and all that sort of stuff. But when he starts asking and saying, bite me, take from me, all that sort of stuff, it takes us to a new level.
Yes.
And then it just amplifies when they're having a Spice scene and all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
And it is
now,
super
what is
fabulous.
Also interesting about this, and this is another kind of part of the third book, is post her bringing him back. Another thing that has changed about her, which is obviously part of her payment, is she no longer can eat human food. Like, it makes her throw up. She has gone full, all she can eat now is blood, and it doesn't satisfy her at all. She actually has like it just a constant need and hunger. The only thing that satisfies her is Sam Kyle's blood, and actually being around him. Being around him makes her feel better, and feeding from him actually sates her hunger.
Yeah. So when they turn Igmaruthan, they go through a phase and it is literally blood and sex, and they have to do it. Fighting also helps, but because she stopped and went full humanity for a little while, it's like she's had to redo it all over again.
Yeah.
Which is why she kind of goes through those phases, but obviously he's super special. So she's feeding off him and everything again.
And I think there's also the part of her losing her soul, and he's now her soul. And that's why they were saying at the end of the book, they talk about that a lot of it's because he's her soul and it's missing from her now. She doesn't feel whole until she's with him. And possibly that's also part of the feeding, and that as well is it's sort of a reconnection to her soul and all that sort of thing too. So
bringing her back in.
Yeah.
It's all about balance.
Yep.
You take something, you have to give something back.
That's right. So rescues him. I'm trying to remember what then. I feel like a bit of a lull happens after that, just for a little bit, but maybe you can remember kind of what happened between then and then the ending. Did much else happen before we kind of get to like
it's
epic
it's quite
psycho ending? Apart from start feeling a softness for Vincent until he goes and freaking turns and cuts off freaking Camilla's hands. Pissed me off completely.
Caden dies.
Oh,
Caden dies and he comes back.
Yes. What the hell? Like, firstly, obviously, this is obviously this is a massive fight between Diana and Isaiah and Caden. Like, they set her up basically in the middle of the edge of the universe, and Sam Kyle does not have his full powers, so he can't just like time warp over there. So we'll have to go into that and talk about that. But yeah, the way that, okay, I don't even know where to start. Where do we start? Like, do we actually explain what happens there?
The part that made me almost sick to my stomach was when they had the blade with the runes, and it was all about Caden taking Diana back and removing all of her memories and then replacing them. And Caden and Isaiah are actually like physically starting to pierce her, and it was so intense because you're like, don't do it. She won't remember anything about the hands.
Gonna have a memory loss.
Oh my God, you can't do this to her. It would be the worst thing in the world.
We've already had her go full Igmaruthan and lose all her emotions, that was tough enough. I was like, oh my God, we're going to have this all over again. But like where she loses all her memories of Sam Kyle. And she's finally like, that's right. They got married. Like they had this beautiful, lovely romantic ceremony followed by Spice, as expected. She's also, we haven't mentioned, she's also got her, like, what, sightseer, the seer, what's his name? Like
Reggie.
Reggie.
I love Reggie. He's kind of like
the serial.
Yes, very much so, but almost has like a Doctor Strange vibe about him because he can actually do things. Well, we don't actually think it, but he does manage to do one or two magical things. But it's more about the fact that he is a sightseer. He can.
What's he called? I'm trying to think what he's called again. He's a
fate.
He's a fate. Yeah, he's a fate.
So basically,
he knows fate.
And like Doctor Strange, he goes through like every possibility. There's multiple possibilities for the outcome and all that sort of stuff. So,
but he's a fate that is also a romantic, and he's
the last one left, and he's trying to lead them down a path without saying you have to do this and you got to do this and you have to do this because this will end up happening. And he's trying to coach them along the way. And him and Diana actually end up having a really lovely friendship.
Yeah.
And he starts to humanize almost as well.
Yeah,
only a little bit because he is weird, but he would be. He's a fate.
Yeah, that's it. But I think what's really interesting is so Diana kind of goes off to do this fight, and then she takes her ring off so that Sam Kyle doesn't chase her because she's like, you're not at full power, and if you come and do this fight, you're going to die. So she disconnects from him. Then he realizes that she's in a huge amount of trouble. She's taken her ring off, but she's right on the edge of the galaxy. So he's like, there's no way I'm going to time jump over there. And then Reggie is like, you actually just need to call your power back to yourself. You actually just need to call it back, and it's just going to come back. It's up there in the sky. You just got to call it. So he does that, calls it back, comes back into him. Way easier than we thought that was going to be. Awesome. Then he's ready to jump over and get to Diana. And meanwhile, Diana is now fighting Caden and Isaiah. So two Igmaruthans, super powerful. She is now doing everything in her power just to survive. And then they come at her. They've been planning this whole thing. They've got this blade. When they stab it into her, she's going to lose all her memories. And Caden has got this thing in his head thinking if I remove all her memories, she's going to love me again. I can feed into her that we're meant to be in love. Like, he's obviously got huge regrets, right? He had her love. He intentionally destroyed that love. Now she's gone and found Sam Kyle. He wants her back, and he's like, well, I'm going to manipulate the situation to make that happen.
Yeah, because he created her, but he knows now that she is Sam Kyle's a martyr, but he wants to ruin all of that anyway because he's selfish. Made her. Yeah, he made her, and he's like, no, she's mine. Yeah. I own her. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, it's a really interesting exploration of two characters, one villain, one not villain, that both want them so badly, they're kind of willing to burn the world for her, but where one is bad and it's not reciprocated and the other one is. So it was really interesting to explore that between Caden and Sam Kyle and why we feel a certain way. I think Isaiah was also quite interesting in this because he's so loyal to his brother, and we kind of find out with him that because they went through so much trauma because their dad like imprisoned them and Nesmira got them out, he's so loyal to her. He's like, I have to be. She rescued us. And he has such a connection to Caden. He almost doesn't think much for himself right now in saying, is this actually the right thing? Are they actually making good decisions? He's very blindly following them. The only exception for him is, what's her name? Imogen. So, but right now, he's trying to help his brother get Diana back.
Yep. And then that scene happens and it is gut-wrenching, and all you can do is just sit there and hyperventilate while you read it and just go, please don't let this happen because we can't do a memory loss trope. It would just kill us. And then Sam Kyle gets over there and ends.
Oh my God. And literally, I almost felt like I couldn't even register what happened. It was like he just came in, just went whoop, well, basically he oblivions the shit out of the whole thing.
Yep.
He oblivions them. Like, literally just Diana, like, put her aside, safe, everything else obliterated.
Yep. So Caden dies. And then you're like, thank fuck, he's gone.
And it was quite easy. I was like, wow, that was it. That was easier than I was expecting. That was
awesome. And it was
awesome.
The first time that you really see Sam Kyle, like, actually use his
man
powers.
Up and be a
and
god.
Be the god that it was meant to be. Actually be the world ender. That we've been, like, told about all these times and da 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 da. And you're like,
He keeps getting like in captions, like he steps into a little circle thing, and then it's like,
How
oh,
are you
all your
not-
powers are gone.
how are you not fixing yourself and taking care of everything and just like everyone
Yeah,
dies?
yeah, yeah.
Because I said so. But
Weakest world
so he
ender
did
we ever
that.
did see.
Oh. So yes, he kills Caden, but then Caden survives and he
Yeah.
comes back, and it's so not okay because we're all sitting there going, "Oh, just stay dead."
Who
Like,
was it Unia that brought him back? Was it Unia?
yeah.
Was it Unia that brought him back, or someone else? I'm trying to remember now.
Oh, I can't remember.
I think it was Unia.
Well, he fucking shows up.
Yeah, great.
He shows up.
Wasn't he meant to be dead too?
He is meant to be dead. He died in the battle.
And this is like where the ending just has me so confused, because then there's also like Reggie is talking to death as well. They just like catch up and have a coffee or a tea and start talking about fate and what they think is going to happen and stuff. They just have a good old gas bag.
Yep, exactly. And it's all about balance again. And then all of a sudden, Unia shows up and Diana feels this pull. Like there's just something going on and she feels this pull. So she like wakes up and she's like, what the fuck is going on? Why do I feel
and it
this?
doesn't feel very safe. I think it feels a bit
danger.
Yeah.
She says that, and then she just runs and she ends up in a room and she sees like these broad shoulders and she sees like this person standing there and she starts throwing like her flame balls at him and just scorching holes through the door and all that sort of stuff, the wall. And then she's like, holy fuck, I know who that is. How? And she actually says, how is this possible? And he's like,
freaking balance.
And she said, what are you doing here? And he said, that's the wrong thing to ask. You should be asking why. And she's like, why? And he grabs her head and she's like, and then there was blackness. So Unia has taken Diana. And it's just like, you're meant to be dead and that's your son's Amada.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is happening right now? And I think that's what killed me at the end. I was just like, I had so many thoughts going through my head. I'm like, where is she? What have they done with her?
I know. And how is Sam Kyle going to react? Like, I think this is where he's going to go from hero to villain. Like, I think he's going to be like burning the world for her.
Absolutely.
No way. I think we're watching his character slowly get darker and darker as we go along. You started out full hero. He's going to be full villain by the end of it. Villain for her.
Yep.
I have to admit, when I read it, I sort of, for some reason, my interpretation of it was not that he necessarily stole her, but that he was taking her away to educate her. Like, he had more to tell her, and she was almost going to, like, I think he said something like, the dead have so much to tell you, or something like that.
Yes.
He says something along those lines, and then he takes her. So I feel like he's taken her there to go and have all these conversations with dead dudes, dead people that are going to tell her about what she needs to do to heal the realm or kill Nesmira or whatever the big bad is.
Yeah.
But
I had a bit of a different take on it.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that at the exact same moment, Death is with Reggie. So he's there talking to a fate and he's down there. And obviously there's the imbalance and everything because she saved, Sam Kyle and all that sort of stuff. And we've got to have the balance. And then Unia is there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the shadow. So he has actually died, but it is kind of, so she's going to end up in this different realm.
Shadow realm.
Yeah. So it's going to be all very different. And I don't know. I didn't think that it was to learn anything. I thought he just flat out fucking took her because maybe she's too much and she's going to be the answer to a lot of things and he's not ready because he did create his children, multiple children.
Yeah.
But that's who he was fighting in the wars. So it's quite like he's very twisted. I believe he's going to be the big bad villain.
Mm-hmm.
And when it gets to the next books, both Sam Kyle and Caden, because they're brothers and they both love her, I feel like they're going to have to team up because Dad fucking took her.
Yeah.
And now they're going to be like, well, where the hell is she? What's going on?
Yeah.
We need our girl back. And they're both extremely powerful. So they're going to have to start getting along.
Yeah. Yeah. I also theorize that she's going to level up through this as well because all the prophecies have been saying that she's going to be more powerful. She's the more powerful one than the world ender that's who's beside him or his armada or whatever that's going to be. And right now, he still seems like the more powerful one. She's still just sort of an Igmaruth.
Which is ridiculous because she's saving him every 5 minutes.
I know. And maybe it's just her viciousness that makes her the more powerful. Right now, that's what kind of makes her more powerful. But I wonder, I guess my alternate theory would be, is he taking her there and she's actually going to like learn from the dead, learn from Azrael and stuff like that, and maybe level up even more, find out what she needs to actually go to the next level. So it's whether she's going to need to be rescued by all these characters that love her and they need to find a way to the Shadow Realm, or whether they've taken her there to learn more so that she can level up and fight whatever the big bad is.
Yeah.
So we have no idea because we really didn't get enough. Unir is a very, very strange character. He's like, on the one hand, so bad in that he created all these children, like, and I don't think we even get confirmation. Did he make them the old-fashioned way, or did he make them like through a magic kind of way, the Igmaruthans, like?
I know,
or a bit of both.
I think he was so dedicated to his actual wife that he didn't actually do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I got that impression as well.
A bit more a magical way.
Yes.
But like even in the last Battle of the Gods, Nismira tried to kill him because of what she did, like what he did with imprisoning Caden and Isaiah, and then she was one of his generals or something like that. So she was around, and then she actually fought against him in the end.
Yeah.
And she tried to kill. I'm pretty sure it was Sam Kyle. She tried to kill him then.
Yeah.
But then Unir got in the way and ended up dying. So I don't know, like,
it's very interesting. Yeah, it's don't know at this stage whether he's fully bad or partially bad or complicated, and whether he's still the same person that he was then, because of course now we've got a different side of him. This is a Shadow Realm side, could be a darker side. What was he working towards? Like, what was he trying to achieve here? So it's,
why would you create the Igmaruthan when they essentially meant to be the only things that can kill out the gods?
And he hasn't made them in the way that like they've made Diana, because they say that they look very similar, that there's real similarities between Caden and Sam Kyle and Isaiah. Like they all have similar. So they've genetically been made somewhat similar, but maybe through some kind of magical process that they've got his genetics, but also have these really evil powers, compared to Sam Kyle that was made the old-fashioned way and just got god powers, light, you know, the good powers. So it's going to be very interesting. We're going to have to wait till October to get these questions answered.
Exactly.
So was that really your main theory takeaway from that ending, what you think is going to happen, or do you have more theories around what you think this whole ending means?
I honestly think Unia is the big baddie. And it'll be interesting because I think his kids are basically going to have to figure out how to get rid of him, because he's still finding ways to come down and take people. Yeah. And I think there's a lot more at work, possibly set up by him as well. And I think that he's just going to be flat out baddie. I don't even think, like, Nismira is fucked, but I don't know if she's the end game villain.
Yes.
I think there's something else going on, because I think
she's getting weapons to fight whatever this big bad is. Like, if she was now the all-powerful, you would think she would, apart from just holding her power.
Well, maybe she's already getting them for the Shadow Realm. Maybe that's what it is, because she's trying to kill him off as well, because, I mean, that's why she wanted to be named king.
Yeah, such a weird thing being named king. Yeah, it's very bizarre.
It's very
Queen's confusing. Better anyway. I love a good queen. I think it's better to be a queen.
Exactly. So yeah, that's my main theory.
Yeah.
I think he's the big baddie, and I forgot about the
pendant
and all that sort of stuff.
That Camilla's been making, and now who has that pendant now? Does Nesmira have it, or did Camilla manage to hold on to it? I'm trying to remember now at the very end if we get confirmation on that. I mean, I think they went to hand it over when Caden goes and like betrays Camilla, but then did he hand over the real one, or did he hand over a fake one?
Doesn't Camilla create a fake one and hand that over, and she keeps the real one?
I think that's what happens. Yeah. So they've got the real one at that. So I think they're going to be very interesting, seeing what happens with Vincent and Camilla and what little quest they're going to go on, because I think that's going to be very, very cool.
Yes. Yes.
I really like them.
I don't know how everyone's going to take Vincent back though.
I know he's going to
have to come back because they're going to take Camilla back, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be a whole
Camilla will
different
soften them up.
process.
I know. Like, man, they're going to be pissed at him. Like, literally, Sam Kyle died because of him.
Yeah.
Diana is going to destroy him.
Yeah.
Like, no, well, she already has tried to kill him. Like, I thought Vincent was dead at one stage. Like, you know, when she stabbed him and then he's, like, falling off the cliff or whatever. I was like, oh, shit. But I was like, surely not, because they've had this whole love interest with Camilla. Thank God he was okay. He survived. I'm liking the fact that no one's really dead in this book.
Oh, it keeps guessing, doesn't
Everyone's like, oh, they're dead. And it's like, oh, wait, no, they're just in the Shadow Realm, whatever. Like, they're coming back. Like, has anyone died? And only Gabby. Gabby's really the only person that's dead and has stayed dead.
But even she comes into dreams and then talks to...
Yeah.
Like, and she's like, oh, I have to show you the door. Like...
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The freaking... And the door rattled in the second book. That was driving us nuts. Right?
It really, really was. I was like, okay,
what does this
past
mean?
the door. Yeah. And I was like, I thought it was going to be something really, really, really bad for 1 second. And then Gabby was just like, nah, it's fine.
It's just how she'd hidden all her feelings and her guilt and stuff. She'd just locked it in there. And also she locked all her power in there. And then she, like, no Igmaruthan had held their power in like that for such a long time. So she was, like, you know, obviously that power like builds and builds and builds. So when you open the door, it's like explosion.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
It was very good. So any final takes on this series? I guess, what are some of the big things that make you just say, like, everyone should read this and actually be really excited with it and stuff? What's some of your favorites?
It's really refreshing, the different female main character. Like, I've never read one like this before. She has a lot of villain moments, which are really big. But then she's so loving and caring and kind. Yes, mainly for Sam Kyle, but then she is for the Hand and her found family and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, she is really quite complex.
Yeah.
But you love her because you never know what side of Diana you're really going to get. And the fact that she really turns full-on villain, but then she comes out of it. I just love everything about her. She's strong. I love that she doesn't need anyone to take care of her, apart from, you know, Sam Kyle bringing her back out. But he's only doing it because he's trying to bring the good humanity side out of her, because she turned into a freaking monster.
Yeah.
And then she ends up marrying him and she's going to be queen and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I love that about the book, that we've actually got a really fierce FMC. That's fabulous. The cliffhangers that each of the books are left on, like, if I compare them to, let's say, Iron Flame or Onyx Storm, you could kind of see them coming a little bit. They were big, but you were like, oh, he's a venom. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But these ones, you're just like, oh my fucking God, someone's like caught and they're about to die, and then
it just catches you really unaware.
Yeah. And you just, how did that twist happen? I love this, like, the flip in the characters, how we love them, they turn into a villain, and they do one thing and we're like, oh, we love you. And then something else happens, and it just seems to be this switch all the time. Yeah. And you're just like, what is going on here? Are we loving them? Are we hating them? And it's really refreshing.
I know, you're back and forthing. You're like, I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you. It's like, and it really shows this complexity of these villain characters. And that's why I say this is such an exploration of villains. I think if you love villains, this is your book, because nearly every character is a villain, and even the heroes are going down villain paths. And obviously our main FMC, super villain, but in such a good way. She's so kick-ass, so powerful. Her only weakness is really love. Like, when she loves someone, she has a softer side, but no one else. One of my favorite moments of Diana's, I think it was in book 3, was she takes under her wing this healer that's bullied by all the other healers. Like, they're so mean to her. She's the only one that actually is like, all the others are killing, like, poisoning Sam Kyle, but she's not. She's actually giving him, like, tea that actually helps. And then they end up being all horrible, and they're all trying to get to safety because Diana's, like, destroying the whole place.
Yep, burning it down because they hurt him.
Yep. And then literally she comes in and she's like, oh my God, like Diana's going to kill me. And then she's actually like, no, you step aside. I'm not killing you. She literally kills everyone else. And she's like, no, you're safe. I won't kill you, but everyone else is dead. Okay, just so you know. All right.
And Pick up the satchels, get your herbs, get the jewels, like, let's go, and then puts her on her back.
Exactly. It's like Diana is like mean to like 98% of people, and then you feel that 2%. If you're Sam Kyle, Gabby, obviously this girl, I can't remember her name, healer.
I want to call her Mishka.
Yeah, something like that. Like, she has the soft spot for the occasional person. And obviously this character is very similar to Gabby. I feel like there was a real Gabby exactly aspect. Right. And I think
Gabby, little sister.
Yeah, just softened to her and was like, okay, you're safe. I'm not letting them hurt you. Jump on my back. Jump on my Igmarithan back. We're going to go do stuff. I'm just going to destroy the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's just there is a lot of different aspects to the book that just pull you in. And, like, the world building of it is massive. It is really quite a lot because you've got different realms, you've got different wars that, happened, and then you've got different planets that people have lived on. And then so you have to, like, learn this one, and then you've got to understand that one, and then you've got to understand this. So you're in a few different ones, but you don't sit there and go, where the fuck am I now?
Mm-hmm.
It actually works. It's explained in such a great way that you're like, oh, yep, they're over there. Oh, yep. And Onuna, like, to me, is kind of like Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But you've got magical people there and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But very humans and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. Definitely has a lot of the tropes that we love in romantasy. Yes. Definitely explores a lot of them, but obviously has that dark spice kind of aspect.
It is a bit darker.
A little bit of Jennifer Armentrout, little bit of what other ones are kind of similar. I guess kind of Played a Prisoner a little bit.
It's just got the same level. Like,
Jennifer Armentrout's probably the closest, I feel like, sort of. Except that Jennifer Armentrout really just is mainly relationship focused, and there's only probably almost a lighter amount of everything else, but it's just more that they explore the gods, particularly in Flesh in the Fire in the Flesh, or whatever it's called, those ones, like Nikdos and all that. I feel like that's probably the most similar to these books. Nikdos is the best.
But this explores it a little bit darker, which is fun. And what I love is you see Raven Kennedy hanging out with Amber V. Nicole, and then Ivy Asher is another one that I absolutely love her books. She writes a bit of a deeper, darker one, lots of reverse harems and all that sort of stuff. And they hang out with some other authors, but they go to a lot of the same things, and they stay in that
with each
group.
other.
Yeah.
Like Sarah A. Parker is in that crew as well. Stacey McEwen is part of that crew as well. Like, I want to be friends in how do I join this group? Yeah. Like, seriously, it's like so
Let
cool.
Let us come with you.
I just have to write a book. Yeah. Apparently. Like, which I'm not really great at doing, but okay. Like, that's
exactly. So
very cool
it's
friendship.
Fun, and they're all they're not similar reads, not at all, but they do have that darker element to them as a romantasy.
Yeah.
So they are that bit deeper.
So I really enjoy these books, but I'm going to be honest, I got about halfway through so I read the first one, then I audioed the second one, but I was finding myself getting a little distracted and missing chunks at times, so I actually went back to reading for the third one, got about halfway, and then Silver Elite and Shield of Sparrows came out. And I was so obsessing about that. And I'd hit a bit of a lull in the book that I stopped, went and read those, was absolutely obsessed, and then had to work my way to come back into it. For me, if I have a break from a book, even if it's a really good book, I do find it. Like, I don't normally DNF because I normally don't stop a book. Once I've started, I normally commit the whole way. But this was actually one book that I did stop. And then it did take me a little bit to get back in. But then the ending got really, really good again. So
it does take a minute. Whereas I love them. I read them one after the other. It took me a while to read them, but once I got into that world, I loved them. And I'm rereading everything now, and I forgot how good they were. And I'm just like, I'm back here. It's so good to be here. I love them. I love.
It sounds like you've just fallen in love with the characters.
Absolutely, but like I would choose this above ACOTAR, above Throat of Glass. Sorry. I know that's amazing. Presence, like none of that really does it for me. They're lovely, but they're light for me now. Even though there's great world building, this is definitely probably like it. No, it is my favorite series.
Yeah.
I also love that Amber B. Nicole actually engages with all of her fans and everything. Like, you comment on her social media or you put a post up that you're actually reading them or anything like that, she shares it and she engages and she talks to you all. Like, it does make a difference when you do have that interaction with the author as well. And then they give you little snaps and like little secrets for the next ones, and they tease you a little bit and they just go, what about this? And you're just like, what the fuck, just bring the book out. Like, I can't handle this anymore. You're teasing us. You're edging us.
Edging us.
Which they do in the book.
It's so fun because, I think I do really like when authors do really stay engaged with their audience. I think it really does keep you connected and it makes you so excited for the future books. And that's probably been one of the hardest things as Sarah J. Maas fans. Like, look, I'm not going to lie. Sarah J. Maas is still reigns supreme for me every time. But waiting and not having anything to hold on to is driving me insane. Like, the complete radio silence driving me crazy. It's really nice to have authors like this that are really engaged and keep us updated, and we can be really excited for the books ahead. So sounds like this is what is your star rating of this? I mean, is there any question? It's one of your all-time favorites, right?
Yes, it absolutely is. I would do 5 stars. In terms of spice, this is definitely
epitome. Is this like, would you say this is top tier?
Or
could it still go more?
No, like, it's a nice balance. It's a really, really good balance. Like, it doesn't take over every other fucking chapter, which,
happens in some of the spice
it does.
books.
Like, you've got to have some pretty good plot to the spice as well. I'd probably rate this at about 4 chili peppers, especially for a romantasy.
Yeah, I agree.
Dark romance,
multiple spice scenes, but all meaningful. If that makes sense. Yes. Like, I think that one of the things I don't like when spice, like, I'll be honest, Zodiac Academy, I felt like after a while we were just getting spice for the sake of spice, and it was starting to drive me insane because it was not feeling meaningful. Whereas in these books, every scene felt meaningful and purposeful and part of their own growth and character journey. Even though there was quite a few spice scenes, she tied them in really, really nicely, that they just kept adding to the story. You weren't there going, all right, we get it now, let's get on with the story. Very engaged in the story, hit at the right moments.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Like, just writes it so well.
Yeah.
So well. So, they're probably my little
takeaways. Well, I hope this was helpful to all of you. I'm very excited to get the 4th book, which is coming out in October. So let us know what you think. Do I need to reach out to Amber Nicole and see if she is interested in an interview? Certainly is an option. Would love to have her along, but tell us what you thought of these books, and if you have any of your own takes, thoughts, theories, how you feel about all the characters, all the villains, please share with us. Thank you so much for listening today, and we will see you next time. Bye.